They grew up together. They played the same sports. They attended the same schools. And now they even teach together. You're listening to DC and DH on the D&D Dynamite 80s podcast. Let's start another one. Hey, let's do that. Let's start another one. Hey, this is DC with the 80s podcast coming at you, D&D Dynamite 80s podcast again. Recording from Nashville. DH is doing the grandfather thing tonight, so we'll go solo with it. Hey, we had a great guest tonight, Kim Alexis, who is a model. She's done some acting, author of some books as well, and we'll get into that a little bit. But we probably know you best, or most people probably know you from Sports Illustrated, Vogue, all those biggies, Cosmopolitan, Glamour, the covers, of course. Kim, how are you?
Well, thank you. I think the guys know me better for the Sports Illustrated and the girls know me better for the Vogue and Cosmo.
There you go. That's probably right. First of
Studying
all,
different things.
Yeah. Did a little research. And I believe I got this right. You went to Rhode Island University?
No, I was registered to go to Rhode Island,
okay.
University of Rhode Island.
Okay.
And I was in their pharmacy program, and then I got discovered and sent to New York. So I wrote to the college and I said, can I put it off for a year just to try and see if I'm any good at this? And so I had a cover of a magazine within 4 days and just kept working. So I wrote them back and I'm like, need to just postpone it for indefinite. But they asked me actually to go and give the commencement speech in 2024 and might give me, if I do it, they'll give me an honorary degree.
There you go. You'll get it anyway. There you go. Yeah. So, okay, that leads me into the next thing. So you got discovered
when I was 17,
around the college age, and off you went, and there it went. Okay, but how did that originally happen? Did you have some background that you did previously, or?
No, I was a tomboy.
Yeah.
Literally an hour ago, I was in my pool here. I still love exercise. So I was busy swimming, and I was in the band, concert and marching band, and I was in honor society, and I was in a youth group for church. So, and I was working in a drugstore for $1.98 because I thought maybe I want to be a pharmacist. So I'm fascinated with actually natural ways in supplements and things still. So how I eat and what I served my family over the years was always more of a healthy alternative.
Right. And you actually, I think I read also that you had maybe like a TV show or a series or something where you talked health.
I've had a lot of different TV shows over the years. Yeah. So I started with Healthy Kids, which was, I had 2 young boys at the time.
Okay.
But I've done other shows also. And my focus at this age is clean living. So how do I eat clean, think clean? Try and do everything as non-toxic as possible.
Sure. Yeah. And that's a battle in these days for sure.
It is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. You got to look at everything.
Yeah, that's right.
They sneak
so many
it in.
different kind of things that they place in our food. That's true. Let me ask this. I've always been curious of this. Is there a lot of competition in the modeling world?
I don't know now. Back when we worked, I didn't think so, but I was working all the time. And I think people don't worry about being competitive if they're working all the time. Right? It's the girls that might not be working that think they have to scrap and whatever to get jobs. But I had 14 job offers a day.
Wow.
So to me, I didn't have competition. I had friends, and my model friends were friends. Okay. And so, and sometimes people will say if their hair color is the same, like blondes might compete with blondes, brunettes might compete with brunettes. But I had many blonde friends.
Yeah. curious. You, the modeling thing, the author, the TV stuff, commercials. I know you've done a lot of those kind of things too. What's been the most challenging? What types of work?
I think now the most challenging at this point in this day and age of social media for me is how to be relevant when I'm older and when I've been out of the business for a while. So
yeah.
I find myself, I'm in my 60s, and I find myself saying, back when I was young, this is the way we used to do things. And you never thought you'd say that, what you'd heard older people say. And I find I'm saying that. So because when we were working, we were known for one thing. So I would go, if I was on a movie set, if I was on a modeling set, someone was an expert at the lights, someone was an expert at the camera, someone was an expert if it was movies with the script, someone was an expert editing everything. And now these young kids, they do all of it. And I don't think they do all of it well. I don't think that there's great, we've kind of just diluted what's professionalism. Everything goes. You don't have to worry so much about lighting. You can make bloopers. People wander around and do things. I mean, back when we were working, if it wasn't perfect, you had to do another take.
Right.
And now it's what's more authentic is people just kind of being themselves. And they don't even have to have makeup on. And they're out in the middle of nowhere and they're just talking about random stuff. It's not scripted. It's not edited. So that has, to me, been, you mean like it's okay to just show up and just do something? Because we were trained to be best at one thing and everyone else would set things up. And then I'd walk on set and they made me look good.
Yeah. I think it's and my buddy would probably say the same thing. As teachers, we're striving to try to make them understand that you can't just half do something.
Right.
You know, they're lackadaisical at times. Well, it doesn't really matter if I turn this in on time. Yeah, it does.
Well, and also,
we're losing that. You're right. You're exactly right.
The quality of everything, and even how much work we had to put in just to get where we got. And there were days when nobody saw you working overtime and not charging people and keeping your mouth shut, and just so much of just really focusing on doing it because it was the right thing to do.
Right.
And some of the younger kids feel like they should just hand me stuff.
Exactly.
I'm like, no. Exactly. Do you have any idea how many nights when you were off doing whatever, I was working? So that, and I don't know if it'll change. I don't know what makes it change.
Sure.
Yeah.
Got
sunlight on me. Sunlight. I'm in Arizona and a helicopter somewhere. Sorry.
There you go. That's okay. Live stuff is fun sometimes, that's for sure. What's some projects that you plan or currently may be doing or planning to do?
Well, I have actually ebooks out right now on Amazon, and 4 of them are on my health struggles. So as I said, when I was studying or thought I wanted to be a pharmacist, I would have transferred over into natural medicine and naturopathic. And so I have a thyroid problem and I suffer with adrenal exhaustion sometimes. And so I've written and dieting. I talk about the books of, or my journey with dieting, all the different diets I tried. And then another one's on cleansing, all the different detox diets I've done. And then the last one's called Cheat Eat, and that's on substitution. So I'm a big believer in not following a recipe perfectly. If it says white flour, I'm like, how about coconut flour? How about cauliflower flour? How about, so I just try something different. So from that, I'm also coming up with my own supplement line, because to me, supplements are good quality supplements are beneficial. We cannot get everything. We should be able to get everything in our soil, but we can't. So,
Sure.
um, and many people find when they're off balance a little bit, sometimes they need a support in a certain area. And I believe that support should be natural.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. It's kind of ironic that we're talking this. I'm an environmental science teacher,
Ah,
and we're doing a chapter currently right now on our production of our food, the commercialized, uh, trying to
spray,
make kids
spraying
understand
on.
organic,
Right. Yeah,
yeah, organic foods instead. And here, the scenario that I'm in, being close to Nashville, my particular demographic of students, um, poverty is a problem. So, I try to tell kids, hey, we're all budgeted. We're all on budgets, of course. And to me, it's backwards. If they want us to eat better and have better quality foods,
right,
it costs more. Well, a lot of families can't do that. They're
right.
gonna choose the cheaper way out. And that's tough. So kids come to school just for better quality food. Of
Wow.
fruits, offer different kinds of vegetables for the cafeteria. Yeah, we'll have kids come to school just to get better quality of meals.
And
So it's tough.
you'd
Yeah, it's
think that
interesting. Yeah,
a
this
food that
topic.
was
Yeah,
pure, that came right from the ground, that's not
yeah,
messed with,
exactly.
doesn't have stuff added to it,
Right.
isn't heated up or chopped or diced or whatever they do, all the things they do to it. You
Sure.
would think that that would be less expensive than processed,
Doesn't make any
boxed,
sense. Yeah.
and right.
Yeah, and then I'm struggling with it, with the overweight, the overeating, because it's easier to do these grab things quickly kind of thing, and
Oh,
it's just the wrong route to be going,
yeah.
and
Well,
we got to
our
teach that in
pantry,
kids too.
yeah, our pantry has to be
Mm,
no items to
mm,
kind of cheat with, because my husband will go
uh,
wander, and he knows
sure,
exactly. And
sure,
I have so many hiding spots. So
yeah,
like power bars, or bars like that
yeah,
when we go hike and stuff. So I like to keep them so that when we go hike, all I have to do is throw them in the bag. But
yeah,
he eats them all, so I don't have
yeah,
any by the time we hike. So I
right,
have to hide them.
yeah, 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 yeah. We battle with some of that too. Don't bring it in the house. Don't bring it in the house, and it'll be gone. So
Yeah,
I guess everybody has those kind of deals too. So yeah,
yeah.
that's interesting. So trying to promote the supplements and healthy diets and healthy food. Um, I've always wondered, like with the models, currently, um, and it's sad. I know that some of those feel pressured to you know, be a certain way, look a certain way. They've got to, that's got to be a struggle for some of them.
It's a struggle, but I remember back, I had my first son in 1986. So he's
Hmm.
now 36 years old.
Hmm.
And so I remember just worrying and struggling, and actually booked a marathon in New York City. So he was born the beginning of
Mm.
April, and I booked the marathon for the beginning of November. So I had 6 months to get trained from the time I dropped
In
a
that
child.
shape, yeah, yeah.
And even though there was that pressure to
Hmm.
get in shape, which would mean losing weight, it's hard to run a marathon when you're
Right,
pre-pregnant or post-pregnancy weight.
right,
So
right.
it it was a goal, and I chose to use it as
Mm.
a goal and make something healthy out of it and set goals for myself. But some things as I age, I can't change. And so I have to learn,
Sure,
let it go, be graceful about it, and focus on other things, because you can't focus and dwell on stuff you can't change,
yeah,
or you can't envy someone else because it makes you miserable.
right.
And so you have to be grateful where you're at. To me, that's just a more peaceful way to live. And certain things we can keep up with as we age, and others it's like, I'm not a size 24 waist anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of, you got me thinking about something else to ask you. Are we starting to get I guess, I don't know, media wise and social settings, that it's okay to not look perfect? Are we getting better at that, do you think, in
I
some ways?
think in some ways we are, and there
Mhm,
are, like, you'll look at certain social media sites, and there's very, very heavy women, and
mhm,
they love themselves, and it's wonderful to see. And certain ad campaigns that talk about every body shape, because there is every
yeah,
body shape. But
sure,
at some point, we all have a natural set weight, and when we go over that, it's unhealthy.
yeah,
And so it's, yes, it's good. And this is a struggle I think everyone has, is it's okay to love yourself at the moment, but always try and better yourself
yeah, yeah,
instead of this is just me and I'm not changing. It's like,
sure,
no, like, what can you do to better yourself every single day?
yeah, yeah,
So if that's a stress and a pressure, it hasn't been bad. I'm able to cope with it. But as you age, you look at, I'm sure some people want, they're like, she was a supermodel, really? But you can't do a thing about it. It's like, this is the best I can be right now.
yeah, yeah. Speaking of that, it's got you lead me into another one. Um, it's gotta be humbling, it's gotta be a neat experience to be able to, have, I don't know, the, um, desire to strive to continue to do the things that you're doing, even as you age. It's gotta
Yeah.
be a cool experience to feel like, "Hey, I'm still representing myself in a healthy way," and that's, people can admire that. That's gotta be cool.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at right now, is that
Yeah.
I'm modeling 62. This
Yeah,
is what
sure.
it looks
Why
like.
not? Yeah, yeah.
And I just recently had a knee injury. I've got a dog who's going crazy over here. Stop. And I have a knee injury, so I can't run
Yeah.
anymore. And it's making me,
Mm,
okay, now what do I do? If you can't use your lower body, you're not supposed to put too much
yeah,
energy, whatever, into a
yeah,
knee. I was in the pool and I did a hot sauna, and I'm trying to figure out other ways to it's my dog bumping the table. Find other ways to
yeah,
work out and stay
sure.
healthy, because I loved running, and it was my way of just being outdoors and burning calories and then feeling good the rest of the day. And
Mhm.
I've I just have to set that aside
Yeah,
now. And then now I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's a healthy way to get my knee back, like without surgery? I'm
yeah,
not a big believer, if possible, in surgery. I don't believe when people cut into you all the time and put you under a knife and under anesthesia, that it's
sure.
healthy.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, so the role model kinda thing, that's where I was trying to go with that,
Yeah.
was that's gotta be cool, to feel like maybe I'm making a difference to some people,
Yeah.
with my books and
Yeah.
how I'm eating and how I'm living my life. That's gotta be,
It's fun and nice to be an
yeah,
inspiration for other
sure,
people.
yeah,
I used to have people come up to me, I haven't recently, but they would sit there and confess, like, immediately, like, "I had chocolate cake last night." And I'm like, "Hi, what's your name?" Okay, you don't even know them, but they
right,
would
right,
come
right,
up and immediately confess something. So,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
it's just all sorts of people. But to me, if I can leave the world a better place, that's what my husband and I try and do all the time, leave the
sure,
world a better place.
sure,
And if that's inspiring or encouraging, that's where I think my strength is. And hopefully they see I haven't done Botox. I want to try and stay natural and not do stuff, so that people say, "Ah, you can
absolutely.
still be that age and look that way." And so
Doing it
that's
the
where
right
we're
way,
at.
that's right. Absolutely. Awesome. Can you hang there just for a minute as we close out, and then we'll get your where everybody can kind of follow you, all your social media and
Okay.
all that good stuff. Can you
Okay.
hang there a second? Okay. All right.
I'm hanging.
We would like to thank our sponsors, Hudson's Flags and More, better known and operated. Also, the Nesting Project of Smyrna, Tennessee. We appreciate all their support. Check them out online. All right. Once again, we have Kim Alexis with us, and we appreciate your time. The very, very best to you. Let everybody know where we can keep up with you on social media and what's going on
So
to
Instagram
stay
is
fit.
yeah, Instagram is the lower score Kim Alexis.
Okay.
Facebook, I don't know. You got to find the page.
Sure.
Kim
Do a
Alexis.
search. Do a search. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can find all of it on my website, kimalexis.com. And I am redoing that. So I wanted it launched before this came out, and I've got the guys furiously working, and but it's not up yet. But that
Okay.
will be new. I'm in the process of developing the supplement line. I've got to actually
Yeah.
name them, which will be fun.
Cool.
And
Okay.
so, yeah. And then I'll just be out on social media more talking about little tips and things that I've learned over the years. I
Yeah.
love being in the kitchen, so I've got all sorts of little tips and tricks that I do. And
Do
some
you
people
do, do you see a health cookbook coming in the future?
I've actually tried that and it didn't get very far, but that was
Hmm.
back at Random House probably 10 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
And my problem is I don't measure. So I had a mother that was a perfectionist and would measure
Okay.
everything. And my
Right.
sister and I both dumped stuff in and would make my mother nuts. And she's like, wait, you didn't, that's not exact. I'm like, this looks fine. It's just
Look,
good. It'll be fine.
it's gonna work out good. Yeah. Yeah.
But then you get to the end of the recipe and someone will say, that was terrific. How'd you make it? I'm like,
Right.
I'm not sure. I didn't write it down.
Give me the
Yeah.
ingredient. Yeah. The
So
makeup.
I
for
almost
that.
need
That's
someone next to me with a little book, like writing things
Right.
down. Oh,
Right.
was that a half a cup or so?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, we appreciate your time and the very, very best to you and your family, and we
Thank you.
appreciate you checking in with us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.